Hello, everyone. It is that time of the week again. Your favorite NRL betting podcast hits record once again. This is Over the Cap, round 5. I'm your host, SC Whisperer, joined as always by my illustrious co-host, Jaden. Look, apart from the horror show that was tipping last week, how are you?
Yes, putting that aside, I'm good. Can't complain. Hope this weekend is a better one for everybody.
Bad week for you. Tipping was terrible. Betting was terrible. The Storm lost. Wasn't a good week.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for reminding me.
It's all right. My time was lost as well. So we are both in the same boat, but we are back better than ever. Another week here. Some good footy around the corner. Trell's back. That's the big one. Couple of outs. Tommy's out. Big week in the news. But the big one is Turbo. He will be getting a mention in today's podcast. But let's kick things off with the weekend opener. The Raiders up against the Sharks. They're in Canberra. Raiders underdogs this one. $2.64 up against the Sharkies. $1.55. Line is 4.5. The overs and unders is 46.5. Look, this one, Sharkies off the back of a loss. Raiders off the back of a loss. Both teams needing a win. Craig Fitzgibbon today said there could be, I think someone asked, what's the status on Kale Iro? And he was like, look, not good. We're probably going to have some more injuries just depending on after training today. So it seems like the Sharks might be a little bit battered. So $1.55 could move, especially game day if there is some more outs. How are you seeing this one? Because it is in Canberra, which is never an easy place to go and play footy.
Yeah, well, after that Broncos Canberra game over in Canberra, I've learnt my lesson. But if I think Raiders will be in with a shot, especially I didn't know what you just said about the Sharks, but yeah, if they're missing a few, who knows? They got quite, spark across the park. So take one or two more of those guys out and it sort of, messes around with their team. I wish I knew that earlier because I probably would have backed one of my Raiders boys again.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the first week that we haven't had a Raiders Centre feature in that. But let's have a look at the bets. You do have Maureen Roddy obviously coming in for Kale Iro, $3.50. Good price for him. If that was Kale Iro, it'd probably be closer to, $2.30, $2.40. So if Roddy can perform anywhere near what Kale Iro can, if they can just put him in space, then that's a great bet there for $3.50. Me, I'm on the Raiders plus 4.5. I think that one could come into like 2.5. If there is injuries, otherwise it's still a 50-50 bet, and I'm happy to take that. And I've also got Sam Stone Street, $1.84. Now, I sort of stitched you up a little bit this week. I showed you Wiki. Obviously, Wiki, great betting tool there on all the socials. Go check them out at Wiki. But they have a anytime try scorer, best odds thing on their website. So I've used those for all my best bets this week. It's like my anytime try scorers. I've stitched you up and haven't used it for you. But next week, moving forward, we'll be taking best odds on market. And you guys can use that website to find it's got every bookie listed, so you can find the best odds there. But just a heads up, we're using that moving forward for best odds. Maureen Hawardi, anything further to add apart from coming in for Iro?
No, I mean, I've obviously seen him play before, and he runs a nice line, similar to Iro. And after watching what the Cowboys did to the Raiders right edge on the weekend, I think that, someone like Sharks who play nice and direct, they play it the way they playmakers play as well. Hopefully none of them are out. But, I could see him getting over close to the line. And,
good odds. On Stone Street, $1.84. Has gone close so many times the last couple of weeks. So I think it's just a good price. And then hedging with the Raiders plus 4.5 as well. Moving in to the Panthers up against the Cowboys. Panthers, they are heavy favorites, $1.23. Cowboys, $4.25. The line for this one is 12.5. The over-under is 50.5. Obviously, the big one, Nathan Cleary back into the fold for the Panthers. Lost him in the 5th minute against the Storm in round 3. Didn't play round 4 and now plays back in round 5. Panthers lost 3 on the trot. Obviously got the job done over the Sharks pretty unconvincingly, I would say, in Las Vegas, and then have gone on to lose 3 in a row. Cows off the back of a win. Surely we're expecting a Penrith bounce back here.
I know you'd be expecting a Penrith bounce back after your hate for the Cowboys, but I think I'm on I don't know, Panthers just as what you said, they just haven't looked right, but I mean they are the Panthers and you wouldn't sort of write them off, but I don't know, maybe losing Luai and it just sort of throws a spanner in the works and maybe they're just going to take some time, but Cowboys did look all right in their attack. The odds are pretty crazy here. You see with my bets, I couldn't really take any of the Panthers players just because I'm still unsure how they're playing. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I put the bets up on the screen there. I think it's a big ask for a side that have had a established 6 and 7 since 2019. To have that as it's going to be a big change. They brought Blaze Talungi in. Seems like he either hasn't impressed in preseason or just isn't taking to the system. So he spent a bit of time in Cup, bit of time in first grade, but not in that 6th position, which is where I guess he would have seen himself coming in as well. So, look, I think Penrith are going to be fine. I'm not hitting the panic. Like, obviously, it's great to get laughs in at Penrith's expense. It's hilarious to watch a team with fans that can be so temperamental lose the plot. So it is fun to poke the bear sometimes when they lose. But with all seriousness, I'm not concerned with Penrith at all. But we got some really good value in this game. You got Jake Clifford, $8.50. I do believe if you do go shop the prices here, I can have this up as well. Jake Clifford, you can get him at $8.50 as well, which is over on 365, which is what you've got him at, which is unreal. Isaac Tungo, $2.45. I'm on Nathan Cleary, $3.50, and Isaiah Papali'i, $4.25. Your boy from a couple of weeks ago. Talk to me on Clifford and Tungo, because I know from a Supercoach standpoint, people are so off Isaac Tungo, so hopefully we can get a bit of a bounce back for him this week.
Yeah, well, I've gone with Tungo purely the odds, $2.45, and it's probably just because of how he's performed the last couple of weeks. But I just think, to me, he's on Cleary's edge, obviously. I like that side a bit more. But yeah, I just think, $2.45. I looked sort of at a few of the Panthers boys, and I don't know, I couldn't touch him. Besides, I liked his odds. And opposite that, that Cowboys side, that's considered a lot of points. They didn't sort of last week, but if anyone's gonna, run some nice plays at them, it would be Cleary and the rest of his crew. And then Clifford, $8.50. I couldn't believe the odds for him. I mean, he's obviously an 80-minute halfback. I think, he'll be playing obviously on that Panthers side, Panthers against that Panthers left. And I just think, just up against Cole and Papali'i, who's starting now. I just think he's a running half, and he scored 2 on the weekend. I just $8.50. I thought was an insane price, and I think in our sort of spreadsheet we apply $40, and I was like, I feel like you have to take that at those odds.
Yeah, speaking of the spreadsheet, I do need to update it. It was very slack last week, but $8.50, and getting the best odds for him as well. Over on the Wiki tool as well, they've got historical value of what Clifford normally pays compared to what he's paying now, and they've got that 42% edge in favor of the book. So $8.50 is a great price. For me, Cleary, $3.50. I think he's looked really dangerous. The 2 full games he's played, he's still taking that line on very, very well. And you've obviously got threat on the outside of him as well. So teams still slide. I think $3.50 is a great price for him, especially coming back with all the noise that Penrith are done, the dynasty's over, blah, blah, blah. I think Cleary's really going to have a point to prove. And we do see iPad, $4.25. This is very similar price to what we were getting for him off the bench a couple of weeks ago, and now he's starting. So it seems crazy to not take a starting edge of his quality at $4.25, considering that was the same price he was paying off the bench. Now we're going to get him at a bigger minute sample. So very happy to take that one. Moving in to the Bunnies versus the Roosters. Primetime game on Friday, probably the headline game of the week. Rivalry, we all know, between South and East, just what that rivalry is. We do see South coming in $1.66 favourites up against the Roosters, $2.23. Line is 2.5, total over under 48.5. Obviously the big one, Jaden, we do see big Trell Mitt back in the fold, but not at fullback. Obviously, the people are saying, the form of Jai Gray, how do you drop him? I think it's down to the fact that Alex Johnson's out, Campbell Graham's out, and they have no outside backs. So they're like, let's just put a former Dally M Center of the Year at center. I don't think it's as nuanced as Jai Gray playing well, so keep him at fullback. I think that definitely helps. But Trell Mitt back at center. Look, we'll talk about our bets soon, but Rob Toyer, he is a great prospect. But boy, this is going to be a very, very tough night and a very, very tough matchup for him, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see Mitchell back. He looks so fit, and all the photos we've seen, and I can't wait for it. And we already love that Rabbitohs left edge, and just chucking him there. And I agree with you. I think it's just you'll find as a product of obviously Gray going well helps, but as soon as Campbell Graham and Wyden, they're both 2 really good centers, and their team's going to be better with Mitchell at the back and them 2 at center. I can't wait. Toy's gonna be in for a long night, I think.
Yeah. It's like, who was he played? He played round 1. Roosters had someone. Oh, the Broncos. They had Dean Mariner. No disrespect to Dean Mariner, but he's not Trell. Then Robert Toya had Alamotti. Alamotti's great. He's not Latrell. Round 3, can't remember who they had. Against the Warriors. I think he was up against whoever the left center is, which is not Ali, whoever else it is. And round 4 was up against the left center for the Titans. I don't have names, but with no disrespect to any of those guys, they're not Latrell. And Latrell is just going to be an absolute nightmare, and it's going to be a big test for Robert Toya. I think someone like him would really look forward to it. I think Trell's really looking forward to being back at footy. But yeah, I've taken Trell as my bet this game, $2.25. I think it's just a great price for him. That left is humming. I think the ball's going to go down that way all night. So yeah, I think they're going to target Toya, and Trell back is unreal. And you've also gone Tass, so we expect Tass to be playing outside of Trell. I don't think Mikali Ravalawa is coming off the right. He's looked pretty good there. Had some defensive issues in his first game for South, but I thought he played very well last week on the right. So I imagine he stays there, and we get Tass at $2.08, which is unreal.
Yeah, no, 100%. I assume that he would stay there. And plus, every time they've needed left winger, Tass has gone over there. So yeah, I'd be surprised. But similar thinking to you, they're going to go left all night. I just think Mitchell there, Gray out the back, they're just going to open up for Keon and Tass. And Keon obviously two tries last week, and I wasn't on him for once in my life, and that's what happens to me. So this week I'll be jumping on.
Yes, I've been on him all season, but I've been on him on the other side of the field, so I'm not going to go there. And then Keon, your lock of the week from a couple of weeks ago, back on him as well, $3.90. It looks like he's hitting some form, so yeah, pretty good there. Moving into the next game, which is the Parramatta Eels, $2.47 up against the Dragons, $1.55. Lions 4.5, and the overs unders in this one, 49.5. We did see Parramatta put in a better performance of themselves last week against Manly. Obviously, Manly with that turbo and having some structures moved around. I think Burbo was playing in the centers with Garrick on the wing, so it's hard to get a grasp of how well Parramatta performed against Manly. I mean, I've been pretty favorable on the Eels all season. I think I've taken them with the start every week of this podcast. I've gone 3-1, so they've performed well against the handicap, but I can't see how this is 4.5. I think, look, this might be a trap game, might have egg on my face, but for how well the Dragons are playing, I know they're only 1-2, but I think they've performed much better than 1-2. For this to be 4.5, I think it's a little bit generous to the Parramatta Eels. I think this one should be closed to like maybe 8.5. Yeah,
no, I'm with you on that one. Don't see how they've come. Well, yeah, how they're doing 4.5, but I was going to say, I bet you're taking the minus, but great, beat me to it. No. I think Dragons will win well. I think they'll demolish sort of both edges. And yeah, see how we go.
Yeah, we've just chucked up your bets on the screen here as well. I've got Gutho in his revenge game against Parramatta. We've got Luchan Leilua as well. Gutho, $2.70, Luch, $4.50. And as you alluded to, I've taken the Dragons minus 4.5 at $1.90. Talk to me on Gutho, and yeah, I guess why you think he's of value at $2.70.
Yeah, I just think that Eels side, watching their edges defend, they're just all on different pages. And the way Gutherson plays, he's sort of that sweep second receiver. And I just think that I saw a couple times on the weekend, Manly didn't take advantage of it. But someone like Gutherson and the way the Dragons play, especially on their left, I just think, there's going to be that space in the 3-2-3 man. And I can just see Gutherson going himself. And Lomax is just so tunnel vision for his center or the fullback coming round. A lot of the time you're seeing the half sort of jam in. So yeah, I'm expecting that to open up, and I'm hoping it's either Leilua or Gutherson. So I'm sort of hedging a little bit there, but the odds for both of them, and yeah, Gutherson against Eels as well. So yeah, I'm hoping.
You back them both, and if only one of them goes over, you still make money. So absolutely. Then for me, Dragons 4.5. I just think this line's probably a little bit out. Happy to take that one there. Next game, Titans, $1.50, Dolphins, $2.60, line 5.5, overs and unders. In this one, 53.5, no defense being played according to the bookmakers. 53.5 is the biggest line of the week. Obviously, Titans had a fantastic win in Sydney last week. I bought James Tedesco, so I had a reason to go watch this game. So I went and bought some tickets and watched the Chooks be absolutely awful. I sat behind the way they attacked in both sides. Their shape is horrendous. Chad Townsend's fifth tackle kicking is not good. The Roosters they're sneaky, and the Titans got the win.
Yeah, nah. I'm on Titans here, and the way Roosters played, I think Dolphins will play similar. To be fair, I just think Dolphins sort of their attack just is horrible, and I just think Titans at home. I couldn't go near the Dolphins the way they're playing. Oh my god! So yeah, I'm on Titans every day.
I can't go near the Dolphins, but I also can't go near the Titans. I feel like they're a team that could beat Penrith 36-0 and then lose to the Tigers next week 36-0. Like, it's just, they're all over the place. So yeah, this game is not for the lines or the handicaps for me. I'm going to happily stay away from that one. I will go with some try scorers though, and as have you. Dave Fafita, $3.70. Brian Kelly, $3. And for me, Jermaine Asako at $2. I feel like I'm on Asako every week and it's just never repaying me, but this will be the week we repay ourselves. Talk to me on Fifi at 370.
Yeah, I just think opposite. His minutes are increasing, and there's a few rumors he's going to start. But even if he doesn't, he'll get 60 probably minimum. So yeah, I just think that opposite Nicarima and Lemueli, if I say his name, has come back. I'm not 100% sure which sides they'll play. Lemueli sort of plays both.
I would imagine Finifiliaki's on the right with Lemuel on the left. It's the way that Finifiliaki's been, probably was coming and taking over Plath as he's now moved to the middle with Gilbert out for a couple of weeks with suspension. Oh
yeah. So to be honest, whichever side, I just think the new combination, either way, and I just think that David Fafita and what's the fullbacks? Jalen de Groot seems to be sort of favor his right edge. Yeah, he seems to favor his right edge. So I'm hoping they throw a bit more attack there. They seemed to do that last week. Then Brian Kelly, I've just gone. I mean, Averillo's been getting carved up, and Brian Kelly sort of loves those one-on-one matchups. And I could just see
that he does. Jalen de Groot being the Titans fullback was not on my bingo card, but hey, here we are. Let's hope it's Brimson for my Supercoach purposes moving forward. But moving to the next game, the Broncos up against the Tigers. Broncos $1.14, Tigers $6, line 18.5, total match points 52.5. I've been very optimistic about my boys all year. I think we get absolutely fucking slaughtered this weekend. Absolutely just brutalized.
Yeah, well, the one weekend I go the Tigers, they lose. I'm telling you, I'm not touching head-to-head ever again.
Exactly. But no, we've got Jarrell Skelton out. We've got Luai out. We've got a halves combination that's, I think, like less than 40 years old. Combine the two of them up against a combination, I think, 70 years of age between Reynolds and Hunt. So it's 30 years difference between the two halves combinations. You've got Cobbo up against Luke Lawali. I just think it's going to be a slaughter.
It's going to be fun. You go, oh, wait, is it in? It's in Brisbane.
No, it's in Brizzy, and thank God, because I would not be going into Sydney. But in saying that, let's look at the positives. We get the two best front rowers in the world up against each other in Payne Haas and Terrell May. So that's a positive to look at. But let's have a look at some bets. You've gone Brendan Piacora off the pine, $3.90. I've gone So and Cobbo, 2+ anytime, $3.20. Bit of value there. Talk to me on Piacora. Obviously coming off the bench, you're hoping for some minutes for him.
Well, I think he's starting this week because Ricky's out. Yeah, Ricky's out.
Sorry, my apology. Yeah. Shows you how little attention I've been paying. Jordan Ricky is out, so you would see Piacora line up on the right with the Goss on the left.
Yes. I mean, in the trials they switched a bit, but I would assume Piacora surely just jumps into Jordan Ricky's spot, and I just think I'm hoping. I mean, Broncos last year they don't really, play to their second rows as much as other teams. But I'm hoping Piacora is such a, he's got a good line run when he wants to. And I just think opposite the Tigers and Leitu Finau and Samuel Finau. And I just think new combination there as well. I'm just hoping, $4. Hopefully he plays at 80. I know Hunt's on the bench, but either way, I like it.
Yep. No, and for all his deficiencies defensively, he's a very, very good ball runner. And for me, Selwyn Cobbo, 2+. Up against Luke Lowley, think they're going to target that side all night. Big effort defensively, and maybe I'm hedging a bit here because I do own Selwyn in Supercoach and he has not been performing too well. So maybe it's a bit of a Supercoach bias, but I think it's still a good bet. Moving into Manly up against Melbourne Storm. Manly at 245, at 254, apologies. Storm 252. Lions 5.5 in the total match points in this one, 48.5. Manly without Tom Trbojevic. I think that's probably going to ruin your futures bet on Lehigh Hopewade, any top try scorer for the season, unfortunately. Hey, how could we have known that Tom Trbojevic would have eventually broken down and got injured? But
I should have known better.
We had too much faith. We had too much faith. But yes, suspected MCL for Turbo, so out for, I think, up to 6 weeks. Doesn't need surgery, which is great. But yeah, looking at 6 weeks, so Lehigh back at fullback. We have Jerome Hughes named on the extended bench for Melbourne, so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, what do you think about this game? And I can't wait for you to see my bet, because I have someone to pay over $20 to be anytime try scorer of this game. So we'll get to that.
Oh, now I'm keen. I'm interested. No, I just think, yeah, I'm obviously a Storm girl. Someone's Storm. Yeah, I don't know. With Hughes, obviously that changes things. I know it was wet last week, but we all know Wishart is sort of show and go. So yeah, I just think, yeah, they'll be better with Hughes. They'll be a bit closer without him. And yeah, I'm hoping Storm get up, but I'm probably not going to say, obviously Manly at home. I'm not going to say it's a thrashing or anything like that. So yeah, it should be a good game though.
I think the Dragons actually defended very well on their edges. I think both halves combined with their edges quite well to defend. And I think that could be the blueprint if you do want to beat Melbourne. Shut down Katoa, shut down Blore. And for that reason, Jaden, Josh King, $23 anytime try scorer. I think this one could come through the middle. Like, look, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not going to be putting piles of cash on this, but I think Josh King, $23 anytime try scorer. Crazy price.
Is crazy. Well, last week, the Storm forwards, I mean, I don't know if you've seen, they were all about $21, and I was just I backed them all, but
I backed them pretty well. So like privately,
yeah, I think you have to. So
$23 for Josh King, who's like I'm not gonna say like a noted try scorer. He's not like a Mark Nichols or a Toby Rudolph, but like he can find the line. And I think if the this Manly pack is big, oh goodness me, they can get tired. I think Grant is one of the best. Yeah, I'm over here dying. Sorry.
You want me to take over?
There we go. Grant's one of the best exponents of a quick play the ball. So I think if Josh King's just piling through, and we saw the Dragons be very good at shutting down Storm's edges, if they jam up, then yeah, it could be Josh King just strolling through. So $23. Look, don't get me wrong, it's not like lock of the week or anything. I just think it's a very, very good price.
Yeah, no, that's an unreal price. Are we? I know you mentioned Blore before. Are we going to talk about how he dropped the ball over the line?
Are we going to talk about how you just hemorrhaged your entire reputation all week on him? And
he was dropped the ball over the line
like 3 times last week. I felt so bad for you.
Oh my! You know what? I was happy though, because at the same time, I'm like, you know what? That's the most they've ever gone to him. So I was like, you know what? They must see it as well.
Yeah. Storm must be big fans of the show. But yeah, he definitely got. It was just unfortunate for you, but yeah. They also they went to him short so many times. I was like, it has to crack eventually, and it never did. So it was just brutal watching. But you go with Jack Howes and Xavier Coates. Obviously, Xavier Coates probably speaks for himself. But Howes at 370.
Yeah, that's just me more. I mean, I don't know if Hughes is playing or not, but I still think Storm sort of favour that left. And with Paps there, I always say it, if Garrick gets thrown some shape, he does struggle. So yeah, that's what I'm banking on with Howard. $3.70 I think is pretty good odds. And then obviously Coates is outside him too. But yeah, any team with obviously Paps, Munster, you're sort of going to be like getting thrown a lot of questions. So yeah, I'm hoping one or both of them get over this week.
And if Josh King gets up to $23, you can bet your bottom dollar that I'm clipping this up and posting it everywhere on social media. Let's move into the last game of the round. The undefeated Bulldogs, the 4-0 Bulldogs, up against the Newcastle Knights. 6.5 is the line. $1.43 plays a $2.84. 6.5 as I said, and 44.5 total match points. Doggy's looking good. Doggy's looking good, even with that Burton, even with that kick out. Scrappy, enough to get the job done.
Oh, honestly, I'm happy to say that I didn't think they would be going this well. Yeah, they look unreal. Like honestly, it's their defense.
Every week.
It's crazy, honestly. I mean, I'm not touching any Knights players purely for that. I can't. The way that, and also Bulldogs at home. Like I've also noticed that. I'm not touching anything to do with the Knights. Bulldogs are winning this. I don't care what anyone says.
Interesting, because I've actually taken the Knights plus 6. I don't think you're gonna win, but I think this one could be really close. Like I think this could be like a 2 or 4 point win for the Dogs, and I'm getting the Knights at a full conversional try. So basically, if this ends 24-18, I mean the bet still gets up. So 6.5, I think, is a good line to take for the Knights. They're off the bye as well, so they're refreshed. I think that's important as well. But you're taking big Josh Curran, $4.80. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, well, Josh Curran, obviously, he's playing over on that right. Preston's over on that left. And yeah, I just think, I mean, obviously he's taken Preston's spot, but he's such a good line runner. We've seen it time and time again, even when he was at the Warriors. Yeah, I just think they'll, that new defensive edge of its can't. And their crowd sort of gets behind them, and they're just one of those teams that seem like they're just, got a Superman cape on every time they step on the field. So in Wiki, who knows what sort of odds are floating around there.
All right. So as I said at the start of the show, the Sharks may have some people out, and they do. So we've had 24-hour cuts come through. We've had Teague Wilton be ruled out. So we do have Billy Burns coming in for him, and no Teague Wilton. So curious if I'm going to refresh quickly. I'm very curious if I refresh the Sharks game, see if this line has changed at all, which it has. It's come down to 3.5. I got a point of value. How good. Love that. Let's move into our favorite segment of the week. It's our OTC multi of the week. We are down 1.2 units, which is not great. However, we are back this week. Jaden, you're taking Christian Tuipulotu or Latrell Mitchell. Sorry, you're taking Christian Tuipulotu anytime and Latrell Mitchell or Isaiah Tass. I'm taking Selwyn Cobbo anytime and Paul Alamonte anytime. That's going to get us $5, so 5-unit return on that one. Look, Tuipulotu, strike winger for the Dragons. I'm assuming there's not much more to add.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously I didn't mention him earlier. He's paying like $1.50 something. But yeah, just I think the Eels are going to get demolished on their edges, and I could see Dragons both wingers scoring. But yeah, I've gone Tuipulotu. And then
Wonderful.
Tass speaks for itself.
Yeah, Mitchell or Tass. I mean, I love Trell this week. I've got Cobbo anytime into Alamonte anytime, and yeah, we've got that at $5. Let's move into the JVJ sort of head-to-head. We can see the results on the screen here. Not good for you. What's going on?
Hey, can we use Wiki? I just want to ask you before. Can we use Wiki to check Isaiah Tass's price?
I think you do have top odds on Isaiah
Tass. I need
Tass.
everything I could get right now.
You do have top odds on Isaiah Tass. It is so $2.08. So you're taking Tass. I mean, for anyone that's not watching, Jaden is currently minus 3.22 units, whereas I am plus 3.9. So it's a bit of a 7-unit swing there. So maybe start swinging for the fences sometimes. I'm kidding. I've taken Latrell Mitchell anytime as my lock of the week, $2.25. $2.08.
Ooh, Latrell. Damn, I wanted to see him get over. Now I don't. No, I'm joking.
I mean, our multi getting up would be very, very handy as well. But we've reached that point of the night. It happens every week where Jaden's internet somehow dies. It's at least once a week, so it's a good routine. Thankfully, it's happened at the back end of today's episode. But Jaden, where can people find you if they do want to follow more of your stuff?
Yeah, so Twitter, JAIGGG_, and the Sportsbet feed, J.
We will put that one in the show notes. Internet is dying. I've been your host, ERC Whisperer. Follow me for all things NRL Supercoach. Don't know what I'm talking about sometimes. Make you laugh most of the time. But you've been watching Over the Cap, an Insight Fantasy podcast exclusive. Check us out next week. Thank you.